are our vertical hip circles, single hip circles. We tend to dance with one hip presented because they really are on one hip. So if you're working on the right hip, you would actually tend to present that hip. And by presented, I don't necessarily mean turn the whole of you to the side. I really do mean see if you can turn that hip so it's forward, but your shoulders are still relatively square towards the front. You then want to think about the point of your hip to give you a really clear reference point, going round in a vertical circle. So if you start by taking it down, it goes back and up and forward and down, and you get this lovely vertical hip circle. And you can do pretty much whatever you want with the arms as long as they're not obscuring the hips. You don't want them in the way too much, but you can frame them. You can get them completely out of the way, maybe turn them a bit more, get the arms completely away. You can have them up. Or you could just leave them, you could have them crossed out of your waist, slightly look back at your hip. So lots of options. As ever, these go both ways. So you can absolutely reverse this, just taking the hip down and forward and back around. And you find a circle that way. In terms of your feet, you have some choices. What I mean by that, and let me just show you feet, you will naturally have a heel slightly lifted. You can let that heel go up and down a little bit with the hip, or you can leave that heel really lifted and absorb it in the knee. I actually think the movement looks prettier if you keep the heel lifted. But you have to use a little bit more of your oblique muscles to make that work. And either of them is absolutely doable. You just need to find whichever one is feeling more comfortable for you. And quickly just on the other side, but it's the same in reverse. You're taking that hip, presenting that hip, and again finding a circle one way, or a circle the other way. And these are our single vertical hip circles. Just as a little quick thing to think about, we rarely dance these square or run forward just because they look slightly odd, a little bit lopsided. I'm going to show you what I mean. Is if I just do one of them here, there's something slightly odd about just having one hip going. If I was going to do them facing forward, I would probably start alternating hips to keep it a more balanced looking movement if I wanted to dance it straight forward. And so those are your vertical hip circles.